Philip and Laurel, thank you so much for sitting down and talking with us today about your beautiful project. We did a few things in the house, and Jake, you were the home consultant and designer on the project. Can you tell us a little bit about what Mosby did for you guys?
It started with the kitchen and mushroomed from there, and pretty much grew into the entire first floor and a good portion of the second floor, and rebuilt the stairway, but the kitchen was the primary focus.
It turned out fantastic. And Jake, when you go into a client's home for the first time and they're kind of explaining what they want done, what are your initial thoughts to tell clients, or any advice right off the bat?
Well, usually I like to review, it sometimes is not just about the kitchen project, it's about the space around the kitchen. And that's kind of how this project kind of morphed and grew into some adjoining spaces. And by the time we went through the design process, it was the majority of the home we were touching.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what was the motivation originally for you guys to remodel?
Oh, our kitchen was a disaster. And when we purchased the house, we didn't like the kitchen. And, you know, Philip was like, well, within a year or two, we'll go ahead and do the kitchen. That was how many years ago?
22 years later.
Yeah.
We finally did it.
So it was, yes.
Well, I think it was worth the wait because it turned out amazing. I mean,
it was.
Take us through some of the design choices. What were your thoughts? What were you thinking going into it, what you wanted? What was your vision?
I wanted the sink out of the corner. Mm-hmm. We had an island, but I didn't care for it. It was not as long as what we have now, and it just wasn't very functional.
We had ceramic tile flooring, which was just the killer on your feet and ankles and your back. And so we've moved away from that, and that's been a great improvement.
And Jake, how did you take their ideas and turn it into the design that ultimately led to the remodel?
Yeah, Laurel and Philip here, we wanted to create kind of a more open concept. They love to entertain for the holidays. They travel up north quite a bit to Michigan. So we wanted to bring some of that kind of lake feel with some of the blues and colors that you enjoy up at that home, and kind of bring them down to this space to make it more comfortable and welcoming for guests.
Yeah, and the staircase was originally a spiral staircase, is that my understanding? And you converted that into one of the most fun and unique spaces of this entire project, in my opinion.
I agree. I asked Jake, well, I want a kennel for the dogs.
One of the great things about it too is the gates match the balcony above. Mm-hmm. So when you're designing something like this, in terms of dogs and pets, the finishes, what are you thinking about?
Durability. We want to think about ease of clean. We want to think about their comfort as well. And then be able to keep your eye on them when maybe you're not at home. So hence we have the webcam up there you can peek on them and say hello.
And what were your experience like with the production team when they're actually inside your house doing your work?
They were always on time. They were always professional, pleasant to work around and work with, and they were always working. I don't think there was one day that went by that they weren't here working. We actually became friends with several of them because they were here for so long, but we became very, very good friends with some of them.
And ultimately, why did you end up choosing Mosby for the project?
We had friends that had used Mosby and had a very positive experience. And as we met with Jake and Amanda and others, it just felt right.
Great. Well, thank you so much for sitting down again and talking with us, and it turned out wonderful. We just appreciate your business and everything that we were able to do for you. It makes us so happy.
We're very pleased with the end result.
Thank you.